Moments after President Ramotar hosted a press conference to update the media on where he stands on the suspension of Parliament, APNU staged a ground-shattering rally across from his office at the Square of the Revolution. A capacity crowd heard the plans of APNU and the AFC in response to the PPPC government's prorogation of Parliament. Dr. Rupert Rupnarine, Basil Williams and Walter Lawrence also spoke at the rally, condemning the actions of Ramotar and his government.
President Ramotar has clearly signaled the intention of the PPP to exercise one-party rule.
We are all here, comrades, because we are tired. We are fed up with the government's policy of for friends and family only.
In the APNU had no problem in supporting this motion of the AFC. We had no problem. And what was the government's response to this no confidence motion? The government threatened to call snap elections. Yeah, remember that? In other words, it meant that both sides were talking new national elections.
AFC has pledged its full support for APNU to see the PPC government out of office. Chairman of the AFC, Nigel Hughes, remarked at the rally.
And we have put ourselves today in a position where we allow some president to sign a paper and change a republic into a kingdom. He pretends that he wants to rule for the next 6 months by proclamation. But we cannot and will not allow this to happen. Because, brothers and sisters, all of our foreparents, whether they were African, whether they were Indian, whether they were indigenous, whether they were Portuguese, whether they were Chinese, whether they were Caucasian, all of them struggled to deliver to us a Guyana in which all of us shall be recognized as equal and be entitled to equal rights and justice.
The AFC chairman reminded that the National Assembly is the forum where the people's business is discussed and agreed that the president, by his action, revealed his anti-democratic credentials. The highlight of the evening was the speech by leader of the APNU, David Granger, in which he stated that President Donald Ramotar could duck, but he cannot hide. According to the opposition leader, the president thinks he is being clever, but in fact all he is being is a clever duck.
President Ramotar doesn't talk like a Democrat. For 3 years, he has not reached out to the 175,000 people who voted for APNU and AFC. President Ramotar doesn't walk like a Democrat. He doesn't walk among you. He doesn't walk in your communities. He doesn't understand how you're suffering. He doesn't understand the cost that people have to bear when they cross that Bobby's Bridge. They don't understand the cost of living when you have to pay VAT. They don't understand that young people don't have jobs in this country. These are the problems with Donald Ramotar. He's living up there in Pradover. He's living up there in State House. He's living up there in the big shots. He doesn't understand how the small shots are suffering. PPP prorogued the Parliament because it is part of the doctrine.
The crowd cheered and was hyped as the various speakers vented their frustration over what they called the death of democracy in Guyana. Andrew Wicks reporting for HGP Nightly News.